Hi there, everyone. I'm going to give everybody a moment or two to receive the notification that I am live. Hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm going to give everybody a moment or two, as I mentioned, to receive the notification that I've gone live. And I do know a few people have posted questions, and I'm not quite seeing them in this chat area, so I'm going to fill it out. Hi there, everybody. Laurie Baracco here, and I'm looking forward to sharing some mini messages with those who have tuned in. I see a few friends have already joined me. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Vanessa, Sonia, and Lisa, and Jessica. Hi there, everybody. Welcome. It is Wednesday, October 21st, and I am at the Mystical Moon in Fort Myers, Florida. I have a different backdrop. I have my lovely, lovely painting of Hathor, the Egyptian goddess and nurturer, behind me. She is one of my guides, and there's a little mishap with my angel who held space for me, with me for 16 years, and she took a little tumble. So I mourn her, but I know that there's a shift in my room here, new paint, new furnishings, all is good, all is purposeful, but it doesn't mean we don't have a little bit of sadness, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smudge and set the space, and then I will get into your questions, and I'll try to answer as many as I can within the next hour. Alrighty, so good to see everybody tuning in, and thank you. Thank you. Vanessa says she loves the painting. Hello, hello. So we've got hello, Lisa and Jessica, Amanda, Sonia, Jennifer and Michael, Tia, Barbara, Marty, and Rosie. Hello. And T-Rob. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to set the space, as I mentioned, by lighting my sage. I have loose white sage in an abalone shell. And whenever I work with spirit, I take the time to set the space. And you can do so with sage, with any herbal combination, Palo Santo, crystals, intention, bells, sound, vibration, tuning forks, you name it. You can set the space with any of those things, and there are tons of other ways to set the space. But I'll go into that in a little bit. So first, as our sage is burning with this beautiful sacred smoke, we call upon the light, we call upon our guides, our higher selves, our wisdom council, ascended masters, the angelic realm, all the loving beings that work with us to be present today as we propose questions that we are wondering about in areas of our life. And I, as the channel, asked to be a clear vessel of the messages, the wisdom, the energy, the consciousness from my higher self that is relaying all of this information to move through me, to speak, that I speak the words and the vibration and consciousness that Spirit intends. And so it is. Alrighty. Hopefully you can feel some of the sacred smoke here. It's Wednesday, so it's a good day to smudge. Every day is a good day to smudge, isn't it? All righty. And yes, I agree. Let's grow this amazing, credible channel. Oh, thank you, Lisa. And I started to talk about the different ways of setting the space. There's so many different ways to set your space, to clear energy, to bring in energy, to work with spirit, to journal, if you're feng shuiing your space. There's so many different ways that we can set the energy, bring in energy, right? So I don't always focus on clearing the negativity and the heavier energies. I focus my intention, and this is my practice. So I most certainly am not one to judge how people clear, right? Because it's a personal relationship with spirit. So what I like to do is I like to bring in the energy of the light and bring that and call upon it and align with my intention to bring in a high vibrational light. And that light comes in and it helps like blanket my space. It blankets me, it blankets my space. It helps me stay in my psychic channel so that I can receive messages without being distracted and pulled out of my psychic channel. And here's a pro psychic tip that, and many of you may have heard this one before, that when I set that intention to be in a psychic channel, I know that I can trust the information that comes through. Whatever is coming through is for the highest and the best good of all, and that the symbolism, the words, the message, the feeling, the aromas, they mean something. So if I set my intention that I'm in a psychic channel, then I know I can trust those messages, right? Because when psychic information comes to us, it feels like you're making it up, and that is the truth. It feels like you're making this up, you're pulling stuff out of the air, like literally sometimes, and it can feel like, it's just too far-fetched for that to be something. But I know it applies somewhere because I set that intention, and right where we set our intention, our focus, that's where the energy goes, and we help to create that reality for ourselves. So that's one tip that I definitely encourage people to work with when you're wanting to develop your gifts, when you're wanting to trust your own intuition. If you set that intention that when I say this prayer, when I sit in my sacred seat, that any and all information is relevant. I just may not be able to connect the dots and figure out where it goes at this time. Okay? All righty. Thank you. You guys are just so sweet. Feeling a little verklempt here. Thank you, everyone. Everybody is just so beautiful and wonderful here. Thank you, everybody. You are all so kind with your words. I'm a little embarrassed. But you all are very sweet and kind, and I appreciate all of the loving thoughts and energy. Okay, so I'm going to start going into the questions because I want to get to everybody's questions and answer them to the best of my abilities. And as I mentioned earlier, that I know that there were some questions that were written before because I looked before and I was like, okay, they're writing them down. I might have to go into the other area if we don't have more questions and pull those questions from where they wrote they were written in my Astral Lounge on Facebook. All right, so the first question is for Sonia, and I'm using my trusty go back to it, but I also feel into the energy of which deck Spirit would like me to work with, my higher self. So Sonia's question is about, she has a couple job interviews coming up, and she's wondering if a new career is in her near future or anything that Spirit may have for her. So right off the bat, I do feel like something is coming. I feel like there is a change. Okay, Sonia, there is a change that is coming in for you. And what I'm hearing is that you're trusting the process, that you're not you're being practical, right? So you haven't put all of your eggs in one basket. It feels like you're looking at your options, you're putting your feelers are out there, and you're trusting that the one that's for your highest and best good is the one that will manifest, right? So how often, how often do we apply for a job or a scholarship or something, right? We put it out there, or a loan, right? Put in an application for a loan, and it doesn't all come together. And then we're so frustrated. It's like, oh, I don't understand. We feel it's a rejection, right? We often feel like it's a rejection when Spirit's like, there's something better for you. Trust me, you wouldn't have been happy with that, right? So that's one perspective to look at. The other perspective is that it's possible we may need to be a little bit more serious with our application or how we're presenting ourselves, right? So are we doing things half-assed? Are we or are we putting, our energy into it? We're thinking through our answers. We're using spell check and so on and so forth. So, but for Sonia, I do feel like something new is coming. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you. Absolutely. Something new is right around the corner. And it is the organization, the position that you're going to be able to grow with, that you'll be satisfied, like you'll feel confident in your abilities and your know-how, and you'll be able to take things to the next level. So the training that you receive, the experience that you gain, it's going to be so worth it in the end. And I say this often in my sessions, that what your intention is, or your goal, chances are it's a refined version of what you've already experienced, right? So if you're wanting a partner who has all the things as possible, they're probably not a dime a dozen. Just like the job that is just the right one for Sonia. It's not a common thing, right? Just the one that's tailor fit for her. It's out there. We just have to be patient for it to pop up in the right timing and so on and so forth, okay? And there are so many different factors that can come into place. So just a little extra message from Spirit for us to as a reminder that things sometimes take a little bit longer. Sometimes it's a good thing we didn't get what we thought we wanted, right? So Spirit's like playing parent with us. Like, I'm the filter. Can you believe my person over here? They're wanting this, this, and this. Are you kidding? Don't they know something else is better? And so there's this whole purpose, right? There's purpose within everything. So Sonia, yes, absolutely. Something is coming around the corner. I'm going to encourage you to continue to put your resume out there, put your feelers out there. And as you do, give it your best shot, put your best foot forward. I mean, honestly, we should put our best foot forward with anything that we do, right? We really should, because it's I know it's who I am, and I know it's who all of you are, right? You don't want to necessarily do things halfway. And if you are doing it halfway or half-assed, then there's a heart in it. Why? What's the reasoning behind that? Do you not feel like you're appreciated, and so on and so forth? Take a look at the reasoning of why you may not be doing your best. One of those 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Take a look at that, okay? But it's coming right around the corner. Alrighty. Thank you for your question. Hello, there's so many friends in here, and hopefully you have hit subscribe to this page, to this channel, so that you receive the notifications of when I am live. And also, I believe somewhere on this page is my link to my newsletter, my website. Every month, I select a winner for a free half-hour reading. And right now, my book is pretty full. I am booked out until the end of November. And if you are the month's winner, you get to kind of be booted up sooner, get to have your session sooner. Yep, you move to the front of the line. Alrighty, so Amanda has a question, Amanda H. And she's wondering if I get a message from Spirit for you. You're uneasy. You, my friend, with feeling uneasy. There's a lot that's going on right now. Okay, so what they're showing me for you, Amanda, with your uneasiness, it feels like there are people who are, I don't feel consciously, but unconsciously or subconsciously poking at you, right? They're activating, the sensitive areas within you. And I'm feeling like you're feeling defensive. So there is the collective uneasiness that's going on. But I feel like you can feel some of the undercurrent of the shifts within you. Spirit is encouraging you to stick to your intention. I'm feeling like you're going this way and that way and second guessing yourself. They're saying, make your decision, stick to it, and follow through to the best of your abilities. You don't need to suffer, but make a commitment to yourself and honor that the commitments you have made to yourself for yourself. You've got the Knight of Swords. You've got the 7 of Swords reversed, which is great because it means there's not too much trickery or a lot of dishonesty. It's not around you right now. But then you have the 6 of Cups reversed. So I keep getting this stop, go, start, quit, energy, and it's very possible people are putting their 2 cents in over something that you're trying to restart or keep going, that maybe you haven't been able to give the best effort that you put forth. So Spirit is encouraging you, make a decision, commit to that decision, and honor that decision within yourself, okay? And take a lot of deep breaths, because sometimes it's like, oh, what did they say? What? Right? When these people say something, or you hear this, or the hearsay of someone telling you what someone said, and they get the reaction. Try not to give too big of a reaction. I think that that's where we lose control of ourselves, and then there's that spiral. So commit, make a decision, commit to yourself, and see it through. All right. And of course, when someone has something to share with you about your method and how you go about things, take into consideration what they're saying, because I feel like this is where we get to discern, can I see what they're saying, or are they full of poop, or are they just picking at me, right? So be honest with yourself, and at least keep an open ear to what people are trying to communicate with you. Okay. Alrighty. Next question. Oh, it's Lisa. Lisa, I knew that too. Michael Miller's really Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Sorry, hon. Okay. Lisa, you're so sweet. There are all the questions. There they are. They all just popped up. Hello, everybody. I didn't scroll down because I was talking. All right. So we're going to get into the questions. Thank you, Lisa. Anon girl, what is your first name? I need to know your first name. Hi, Kaylee and Kat, Ananda. Hello, Barb and Rachel, Kathy, all my friends. Okay, so the next question I see is Elena's. And like I said, I'm going to try. I know sometimes I go on a little bit, but I can't help it. Elena is asking about her daughter. I'm going to try, as I said, get through as many as I can. And I did. All right, just pause for a moment. So I share these mini messages, these sessions, because I know that so many people have areas that they're wondering about, or they need a validation. And it's not that you need to that you're coming to me for some guidance or validation or clarity, but I know that this service is needed, right? And Spirit is guiding me to share, right? So it's tithing, it's not tithing, right? So if you're familiar with the concept of tithing, it's sharing where you receive light and giving back. And a lot of times people will say, well, that's really about the money you give back to where you receive the light. But I receive blessings and light and support from all of you. And it's not that you're just buying stuff from my store, paying for services or whatever. It's a beautiful gift. I have no other word right now, but it's a gift, and I appreciate all of you. So I want to share some of the messages that Spirit brings through, and hopefully can help one of you, or if it's just one person, it's worth it. Okay. All right. So Elena's worried about her daughter, Chandra. All right. Let's see what we've got here for Chandra. I gotta take a deep breath. That's funny, because she's worried about you is what I have right off the bat. And Elena, I don't know if your daughter is a mother, because there's some type of, I'm just gonna scooch down here. Okay. Going back here then. There she is. Because I have your daughter worried about you. So you're worried about her. She's worried about you. You both have similar energy in your caring, in your nurturing, and your tending to others. Okay. So what they are showing me with your daughter is that I feel like there's interference. There's interference from another person, a third party, that I feel is taking that's a distraction from your daughter Chandra doing what she needs to do for herself with her own personal goals, with her own achievement, and with her life. It's like there's a distraction, like getting off the ramp and going in this direction where it would be best for her to stay focused and pay attention to what's going on here. But Spirit is encouraging you to, with your prayers of intention, to hold her, your beautiful daughter. She's beautiful inside and out. To hold her in the space of being happy, whole, healed. See her smiling. We don't need to see her doing anything but sitting across from you, smiling, just this, whatever, sunlight on her face, just feeling really good and in a really good space. Send that energy to her, ask Spirit to support her, to help her on her journey. And I know that there is assistance, guidance, help that is working with her to help her navigate back in alignment with her path, although this little detour is part of her path too, to learn about unequal exchanges of energy. We have the Empress, so this where I was like, oh, she's worried about you. She's concerned about where you are and making sure you're okay. But I think that's part of her personality. Then we have the Three of Swords, which in this instance I felt as something, a third party, pulling her over here, the distraction. And then the beautiful thing is that there is also a female in spirit that I feel is a relative that is guiding her, supporting her, is doing her best to help, like, guide her this way. It's like, come on, like, to herd her this way. Come on, we're gonna go this way. And it's either your mother or a grandmother or your mother. Yeah, your mother, or it feels like it's someone who would be your mother's age. Your mother, a mother-in-law, or like an aunt or female that is in spirit that is around your age. I see this wonderful influence and assisting her to help guide her and help her have some mystical experiences as well. But I feel you feeling into your daughter's energy, and this is normal, but right? This is a normal occurrence. We care about our children, but they're also saying that you can only do so much. When you feel those anxieties coming in, bless her, see her happy, whole, and healed, and she will make it back to her path of where you think she should be, where you feel she should be, where she should be. But this detour is part of her path. Okay. And Kathy said Kathy S. said her father said in spirit that all of his children, I was the most like his biological mother. In what way am I like her? Well, first of all, hearing like the way you think, I see, okay, and you're independent. So your biological grandmother, I feel like there's some questions here within that. But the grandmother that your father has referred to, that the similarities are your independence, your intelligence, you're both super smart, very analytical, great with problem solving and being able to take a situation and find the outcome. And with that independence, you don't need anybody to do it for you. You do it yourself. It's like, I'll teach myself how to do this. I feel like that grandmother would have fixed a car. She would have done all of these things. And I don't need anybody. I got this. And in a way, he laughs, your dad laughs, because he says it's a little bit stubborn sometimes, but you've got this. And the other aspect that you are a lot like that grandmother is that you're very loyal. She was very loyal to family and those she cared about, and that is you. You are fiercely loyal. And I feel that old saying, which is so true, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. She would say that all the time, and she lived that, and so do you. So it's the integrity, your independence, your intelligence, and your loyalty. All righty. Vanessa, what are your guides trying to tell you? Oh, this is interesting. First off the bat, Vanessa, they're saying You're the bomb.com. That's what I heard. I actually heard. Tell her she's the bomb.com, that she is amazing, that she's amazing of who she is she's amazing. She knows how to do things, that she has such a beautiful heart and personality, and that she doesn't realize how awesome she is. And they're saying that often you've been surrounded by people who didn't see the beauty and the gold that your soul is, and that's a shame. It's like speaking of loyalty. Oh my gosh, your guides, they're like, she's just amazing, and she has to know that. And they're saying that you keep them on their toes. Yeah, I felt like, oh, it's like, pivot quick. We're making this decision over here. She's going for it. She's going for it. And then I feel like they get really serious. So they're saying that the balance that you're working so hard to create, to rectify within the family, like it's like you're trying to right some things that have been wronged or out of balance. They're saying that there's a natural progression in how things play out as well. And that's like they want you to, I feel like you'll know what I'm talking about, what they're talking about. They're wanting you to take a step back. All of this unfinished business and karma is not only on your shoulders. There are orchestrated events and scenarios and synchronicities that all of the lineages are helping to co-create with spirit, their guides, and the whole kit and caboodle is what they're saying. So you have the Two of Swords reversed. This is the card for tomorrow, the card of the day, which is right side up. For you, it comes this way. It reveals itself this way. Four of Wands, and then you have the Justice card. So you're trying so hard, Vanessa, to create this balance that I don't think all of this falls on your karmic plate. And you may be overwhelming yourself by trying to do the best you can for yourself and for generations moving forward. So they say cut yourself some flack, and you are the bomb.com, and they love your sense of humor. And they're saying your colorful language sometimes, like the adjectives you use. And I'm not just talking about 4-letter words. Like you could really get descriptive, and they're like, "Oh, that's our girl." So I'm sure I feel like I know this makes sense to you. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, all righty. Oh, thank you, Amanda. All right, so a non-girl wants to know if there's a person of romantic interest coming into her life soon. If so, who could it be? Ooh, something just crackled in the corner. It's very windy here in Fort Myers at the Fort Myers store. We've got lots of wind going, and my room is right by the window and the door, so I can't even say that it was super mystical. Okay, all right. But why not? Right in the space it is. Okay. I'm arguing with them. No, I'm not. So yes, I am. So they're saying not yet. And you may not like that answer. They're like, not yet, but there is someone coming in. Like you're not going to be where you're at right now, where you're at currently forever. This is just a temporary thing. But there is some I don't know if it's that you feel that you want to have that validation that someone's coming in. And I'm going to say this. I don't think it's anybody you really know right now. They're saying for you to put yourself in different scenarios, surround yourself with different people. It's not anybody that you know right now. And I'm not even sure if it's the same social circles that you interact with. I don't feel like it's connected to work. I feel like it's where you're out and about doing your thing that you meet some new people. And from those new people and those connections with those new people, I felt like that's when we're going to meet new people, new experiences, new faces, right? So really, really, really like someone for you that is compatible for, sorry, I should have put my hair up, that is really compatible for you next year, in the beginning of next year. I really, it's like, I'm like, yes, I hear a solid yes for you in the beginning of next year. Okay. And I really feel like it's not anybody that you know right now. All righty. So Rachel S., she'd love to see what I get for her business and her husband's new career. Okay. So for Rachel S. Woo. I feel like you're both playing tag, Rachel. You and your husband are playing tag with the daily stressors. And if you own a business, chances are there's stress. And then when it comes to, okay, so when it comes to your husband's career, his new job, his new career. Wait, hold on, let me find you. His new career. I feel he feels like a little bit like a fish out of water, and there's still the adjustment period. So I think he'll be very happy in the long run, but right now there's a little bit of awkwardness. I'm hearing he is on the path to personal achievement, fulfillment, feeling really good and feeling really content. I feel like there's some tricky spots within this new career. Learning curve is what they're saying. And when it comes to your business, I feel like there was kind of like a shift that wasn't maybe the most enjoyable shift, but it was necessary. I feel like you're starting to build from the ground up. And or you're starting, like, so here's where your business was over here. I feel like we're going over here and we're reconstructing. We are rebuilding, but we haven't taken down what's going on here because it helps pay the bills. And there are still some really wonderful aspects about the business. But I feel like over here we're starting to build something else. We'll take in some of the energies here and some of the aspects of the business, and then it feels like then we construct something that's even more solid. You have the Tower card, you have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and then for you, then you have the Two of Wands. So this was a necessary kind of shakedown and reevaluation, but I'm hearing we're building, it's like the $6 million man. Does anybody remember the $6 million man? We can rebuild her. We're going to make her stronger. We're going to make this business more profitable, and so on and so forth. So I see that with your business, and then with your husband, we've got the Three of Cups reversed, and then we do have the Ten of Cups. So it's a little awkward for him, but I do think in the long run, he'll be really happy with how it all falls into place and how it looks for him. And Elena gives me a heart. Right back at ya. All right, T-Rob, my son, Anthony, very worried about his mental well-being. Let me see what we've got here. Bills, okay. Have you, done some cord cuttings? And I know sometimes people are like, I don't want to do a cord cutting with my children, but it helps create a restart, a reset with them. So I'm going to encourage you to do that, to ask Spirit to come in and help you cut the cords that are not supporting you and anybody else, and seal them up with love, and then bring in light, and then as you re-engage, when you think about your children or the people that you care about, you have a clearer perspective. I've got, they're telling me I've got old energy when it comes to Anthony. And I feel like you're going back to the past of what has happened before and where he was before. And yes, he's under stress. I mean, he definitely is. You are not reading it wrong, and he is overwhelmed. And they're showing me approval. He's got the needing approval and validation from someone, and that's where I feel like a lot of his stress is coming from. So we have, and okay, let me just say this other point, that I do think that where he's looking for approval, it's probably not going to happen in the way that he wants or that he feels he deserves, that type of connection and validation. And I do think that Spirit's going to help him realize that, recognize it. 2 of Cups reversed. So someone who is not reciprocating communication or feelings. It feels like there's not quite open lines of communication there. Then we have the 7 of Swords reversed. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So he's putting all this energy and effort into actually a situation or two that it's like he's setting himself up for failure. What I'm hearing at this time is that the situation, the main area that where he's stressed over and that's bringing him the most anxiety, I feel like it's coming to an end, and it's like it'll take care of itself. He may not be happy with how it looks in the end, but it's going to take care of itself. Okay. Back to that prayer of seeing your loved one happy, whole, and healed. And sending that love and holding that intention for them, smiling, just really feeling good and in their happy place. Okay. Alrighty, next is Lisa. Let's see what Spirit has for you. Okay, Lisa. Let me flip you over. Here we go. So Lisa, have you been thinking and feeling that you need to take a little bit of time off? I'm hearing your guides and Spirit, they're all coming together as a collective, and they're encouraging you to take a sacred pause and a timeout. And I feel like you're like the Energizer Bunny, and I'm go, 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 go. You've already set some intentions in motion, like they're already on their own, they're doing their thing, but then they're showing me you really looking and checking, and this is also about some delegation. This is also about that trusting that some people will follow through with what they need to follow through. I'd love to see, I don't know, maybe you do this already, but if you do, then this is your validation to continue this practice of unplugging. Like unplugging, if you can't do it for a full weekend and a full day, then a few half days here and there to, this is also what they're showing me, that you're becoming more sensitive to electronic devices, computers, phones, and all the things. And I don't know if you have a salt lamp. Himalayan salt lamp would be a great thing to help neutralize those ions. But I do feel that with your energy, with your sensitivities, you're becoming even more sensitive to electronics and the vibration, even the television. So that's why they're showing me that unplugging for a little while is going to make the world of a difference. And that sacred pause, right? So whether it's business or checking in with everybody, they're saying she needs more time to dial down the noise out there and to go within and to take care of herself some more. I'm hearing there's too much fire in your body. Believe it or not, fire. Go, 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 right? So that fire needs to ground itself. So I'm going to encourage you, they're saying the element of air. So more, stand in front of a wind tunnel, but roll down the window more and let that air hit you. That air is like, it's going to move. It's going to help move some of that energy to clear you. You know how we take a fan, like a feather, and we fan ourselves. You could use some more of that element of air. And since it's windy outside, that's a great thing to do, to go outside and allow that wind to move over you. You definitely need that sacred pause, maybe even at least once a week is what they're saying. But the crazy thing is I see you busier and busier. It's like, but I hear delegation. At least I don't know if you already have an assistant, but if you don't, a part-time assistant might be a good idea. You have here's that 10 of Cups again reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and 7 of Wands reversed. How I got that message is kind of interesting compared to these cards, but I did get that sacred pause in your home. Your home is your sacred space, and it still feels really busy, a lot going on, busy, busy. And then that Wheel of Fortune, where sometimes we have to get off the hamster wheel. That's what I got. Just stop and pause to regenerate yourself. And then they're also giving me throat chakra. Throat chakra feels also very, very busy, probably because you're talking all the time. And then the 7 of Wands reversed. So in that sacred pause, it helps you recalibrate and realign with spirit even more so. All righty. Next question. So Jessica has a question. Will my husband's new trucking company be successful? I'm hearing that there's a huge learning curve in that industry. Whether he has experience already in that field, there still is a lot more for him to brush up on, learn about, and have more information under his, or experience under his belt. And the answer, the cards did validate, yes, it will be successful. Here's the star. That is a great success card. The 10 of Swords reversed. So this tells me that he doesn't usually stress too much. He handles stress really well. So that's wonderful, right? And it kind of, he's like smooth like butter. And then we have here's that 8 of Pentacles. So this is apprenticeship and learning. I do see him working with someone. It could be a business mentor that helps him look at all of the aspects. So I'm going to say it's a yes, but I am hearing slow and steady. It may take a little bit longer than what he likes for him to reach the numbers. I see he has some big, huge goals, and I love that, but he needs to continue to trust the process. It feels like some things in that industry have changed, maybe some regulations and so on and so forth, but he's going to do really well. Remember, he got the star card, and he does really well with being under pressure. Next one's for Nadine. What does Spirit have to say in regards to the visa? Will I get a job soon, or job sponsorship? Okay, so the visa right now, ay caramba. It's a lot changing. And what I'm hearing right away has to do with, yes, politics and the election. Hold on here. Let's see. Okay. So I shuffled the cards. I got some of the same cards. So we have the 2 of Cups reversed, the 7 of Swords reversed, and then the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So to me, it says, as of right now, not yet. But it doesn't mean that there couldn't be a change, and that I really feel a lot of it has to do with the government and politics. I feel like the mind wants one thing and the heart wants another thing. And that's you, right? So your mind is saying one thing and your heart is feeling something else. I feel like there's some kind of conflict within you. And so I'm hearing Spirit wants me to ask you the question of yourself. Do you really want to stay? Do you really want to stay, or do you really want to go? What is it that you love about staying, and what is it that you dislike about, that you're not happy with, right? So to look at that, and I'm hearing if the scenarios were different, then maybe it would be more like I'd be happier with the decision to stay, and I feel like my outcome is better. But as of right now, I'm sorry, I'm not quite seeing it as of right now. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is to not put your eggs all in one basket, and of how it looks and how it all comes out. Although you did have a couple of scenarios where it could change. Okay, so let me just ask the second part. Will I stay in the US and get a job sponsorship? The job sponsorship, there's a possibility. I'm going to encourage you to look at other places for jobs. You may have put your feelers out for 1 or 2 places. I'm going to encourage you to put it out all over the place. So if you're able to be to do that, I'm going to say be even more proactive in that way. I feel like you're being proactive, but Spirit wants you to not limit your potentials and your possibilities. And let's see what happens there. Let's see if we could change that outcome. All right, Tia. She's in the same boat as Sonia. She's waiting to hear back from one employer, and you really, really, really want the job. If that job is for your highest and best good, Tia, it's going to manifest. And if it's not, something else is happening, right? So this is what I'm hearing for you, to put this all into surrender. That if I'm going to be happy in that job, and if this is really the job that's going to be fulfilling for me and fulfill all my needs, then I want to hear sooner than later. Can I please hear sooner than later? And when you say, should you move on, I'm going to say, put your resume out there anyway, right? If you put your resume out there anyway, then you're not overanalyzing the one scenario, right? That one job. If you put your resume out there, you might be broadening your horizons. I actually am hearing that there's a better job out there for you, one that you'll be happier in. So this says the 5 of Swords reversed. Then we have the 8 of Wands reversed. And then we have the Chariot reversed. So what they're telling me about the job that you're looking into, that you're more invested in, it may not be all it's cracked up to be. I feel like there may be some inconsistencies, and behind the scenes, you may not be too thrilled with how it all plays out. Always trust that someone has your back. Spirit, your guides, your higher self, the forces that be, that you are always guided. And sometimes what we want is not what's best for us. So I would put your if I were you, I'd put my resume out there for other opportunities, and trust the one that you get hired for is the one that you'll be happiest with and in. So Barbara asked, am I on the right track with the new house, or we are looking to purchase in a different city? I feel like yes. Yeah. New beginnings, good for you. This card is popping up again, so the Spirit validates what I was feeling. 8 of Pentacles. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Hierophant. I do believe that you have done all of your research. You've looked into all the possibilities and potentials, and the house that you found and the city. It's just right. Has the right feeling. It actually feels familiar. It feels welcoming. It supports you with where you're going, your lifestyle, everything. And so that is your validation. And I think that you'll be very happy there. Alrighty, Athena. She was advised that I have healers on both sides of the family and everything happening lately. I'm just destined to be someone greater. They want me to phrase it this way for you, Athena. Of course, you're destined to be more of your authentic self. We all have potential, right? So here's the thing. Spirit's like, okay, here's the goal over here for you to grow, right? So say if, I don't know, say you want to be a healer, right? And so I would love to have 5 clients, at least 5 clients. Here's the 5 client marker. Okay, 5 clients, boom. Okay, Spirit's like, here, 10 clients. So there's always an unfolding and an evolution with who we are. And so my answer is yes, yes, yes. You are already that great person, that amazing being. It's just that some of what you do is changing a little. Other aspects, embracing and stepping into other aspects of yourself, wearing a different hat, embracing a different identity. Okay, absolutely yes. An everyday person, they are so important. Every single person is important. Every single person's important, and all of the roles that we fulfill are important, even if we think that they're small and insignificant. So I am going to pull 3 cards for you, Athena. Absolutely. 5 of Cups, 4 of Swords, and Knight of Swords reverse. So there is a healing process that you are helping to fulfill and for others, and holding space to help facilitate healing and shifting within yourself and with others. So absolutely. Hi, Lindsay. She says, I leave Friday for a trip. What does Spirit want me to know? Have a good time. Kat, you might have to move your question over here if you could type it in really quickly, because I'm not able to flip back and forth. Okay. See if I can get everybody. Where do I go? Okay. So the next one. So Lindsay. Okay. What does Spirit want Lindsay to know about her trip? What I'm hearing and what they're showing me there in the cards is that feels like your tribe of women is changing and shifting. And some of the relationships and how you relate to others and how they relate to you is morphing. And it doesn't make it bad or wrong of who is in and out, but it's, if you look at more like a vibration and an alignment. So I don't know if you're going with women, or are you going to be reflecting upon the women that you encounter, the women that you have had relationships with, and I mean friendship, family, and so on and so forth. This is so interesting. There's something about undoing controlling relationships and the weird, the uncomfortable dynamics with women. You have the Empress reversed, the High Priestess reversed, and then the Magician. And I'm also hearing another powerful message for you, that you are embracing who you are and not judging yourself for who you're not. You are beautiful, you are perfect, and the thinking things should look and feel different in place of who you are, that's old. That's old stuff. But I do see, okay, so they want me to make sure that I go a little bit more in depth with the relationships with women. Sometimes women can be brutal. Some of my deepest heartache has been through relationships I've had with women where I was surprised, or it's not what I thought it was, or whatever it is. Women can be rough, you know? And so I see a little bit of that reflection on those relationships, and it shifts how you relate to yourself and how you nurture yourself and what you will accept from these types of relationships. It feels so powerful. It feels so good for you. And so I see this trip as an enlightening one. It sounds heavy duty, but it's not really that heavy duty. I want to stress that. It feels like, and let it go. I had and then I just moved out of that energy. Feels really good for you. Rachel, I'm gonna skip on to another question because I did go answer your question. I have a lot of questions here. And hey, Daphne. And Sonia says, you're welcome. Makes her feel great about a good job. Good. You've had a rough go. And yeah, this is the right timing. Hello, Jennifer S. And Amanda, you're welcome. Jennifer S. You have a question. You're going to school for education, and I have tests I'm taking. Will I pass? I'm wonderful. Is that trying to get me to say yes? So Jennifer S., I'm going to encourage you to study your booty off, right? And I always have to share this one experience years and years and years ago. Someone was studying for a test. They came for a reading. I saw them passing, and they didn't pass because I said they were going to pass. They didn't study because they were going to pass. So I'm going to encourage you to study. And I just see you. I see a lot of tests, and I'm going to encourage you to try to get as much rest, to go into your spiritual practices of meditation, to ask Spirit to help you retain the information, these answers, for the testing, and so on and so forth, and to not compare your experiences with others. I just feel like, I don't know, you're probably studying with other people, maybe we're study buddies, but make sure that you're using your own experience, your own, right, and not listening too much of the horror stories that can happen. But I do have a yes. So you have the Three of Swords reversed. You've got the Hermit. You are the wise one. You have everything within you to be able to succeed and pass. And then you have the Page of Swords. So there is that doubting part of you. And they're saying be practical. I feel in this time before the test, you really got to take care of your temple. They keep saying plenty of rest. I don't know if you're up late. Vitamins, eat good foods, nurture yourself with good food, great water, high quality water. Don't overdo it on the caffeine. Get some fresh air, do all the things. And even if the test is not for another 2 months, start now taking care of yourself. Create a healthy routine, all right? And I do think you are going to pass, and much luck to you. Okay. Alrighty, and girl's name is Ashley. You probably told me that before. Okay. So Daphne's saying energy exchange. I'm not sure. Probably something I said before. Okay, Ananda. So do I know why Ascended Master Astrology isn't necessarily heard of? I know they're around me, associated with the star, but I can't find anything on her. You know, a lot of this information about the Ascended Masters and the angelic realm and so on and so forth, it's all channeled information. It's all information that's been channeled in someone's interpretation. So you know what she's saying? It's a female, right? I feel like it's a female. Yeah, you said her. She wants you to create the connection one-on-one, your connection with her. She says, don't listen. She says, don't listen to what other people say, because other people will have their own take on me and their interpretation. You get to know her through meditation, through journaling, through having dialogue with her. What's most important is the relationship that you have with her, not from what you learn about her. I feel like you have some of the basics, like where she was, like where she lives on planet Earth, and so on and so forth. But who she is to you is different than who she is to others. Okay. I feel like there's so many gifts within that for you. And remember what I mentioned earlier about when you're in that psychic channel, trust what you see, hear, and feel. Okay. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you as well. And Barb, I'm the real deal. Oh, you were sweet. You're so sweet. All right. So thank you, Barb. So Northern Glory. You left a question early, but you don't see it. So it's Jane. Hi, Jane. Whatever message Spirit has for you, you got it. I will see what I can find here for you. Okay. I pulled the cards for you. It has to do with forgiveness. Forgiveness. So I feel like forgiveness is a theme you have been working on, which has to do with letting go. Okay, so we've all done things and said things, and I feel that there's forgiveness, you forgiving yourself for what you didn't know. You know, in hindsight, we're so smart in hindsight, right? It's like, oh yeah, I should have done that, and blah, 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 blah. In the moment, we do things, and based upon whether we're tired, we're pushed to our limits, and so on and so forth, we may not make the best decisions, say the right things, and maybe we're not in a shining moment. And I feel that the theme for you is forgiveness, to come to terms with, okay, that's what happened. I am going to do things differently. And this has to do with forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, I accept that's what happened because I can't necessarily change it because it's in the past. I can change how I view it. I also feel like someone is coming back into your life. Either they're asking for forgiveness or there's a balancing out and a clearing of the air. The cards you have are the Eight of Swords reversed, the Three of Swords, and then the Two of Cups. So where there was disharmony, disruption, dishonesty, heartbreak, backstabbing in a situation, saying the wrong thing, having regret, that there's an opportunity. How beautiful for you to balance out those scales. I love that for you. They're saying that some of it is really deep and some of it, it's like you're going to be able to breathe more soundly at night. It's like, now that's behind me. And they're saying once you put it behind you, you got to leave it back there. Don't pick it up. So Sandy G, hi Laurie. I've been going through crazy change this year with the loss of someone near and dear. I'm really sorry to hear that. Just wondering if things will be better, clearing the energy of 2020. We're all hoping, right? We're all like, 2021, can you please be the year that like is amazing for me? You know, and there are some amazing things that have taken place in 2020. Not all of it. Some of it's like, we're learning the hard way. So we all are taking Earth School 101, the intermediate course, right? And you, my friend, have definitely been in that course as well. You're definitely leaving a lot of illusion behind you, meaning that you maybe didn't see things clearly or maybe wish things weren't that clear. Like, ew, that's not very nice. It's not very pretty. Oh my gosh, there's a squirrel outside. Squirrel, right? I definitely got distracted. So there's something about the squirrel. So someone that wasn't exactly honest with you and stretched the truth and so on and so forth, they have bad communication skills because I'm choking, but they have not been able to express that they have fear of lack. They have fear of not having enough. I'm thinking of the squirrel that wanted to bring that message. It's like, I'm hoarding it because I'm afraid that the supply is going to run out. So I do think that that has been coming to light. That is your Seven of Swords. You've got Temperance reversed. And then you have the Three of Pentacles reversed. So I see you being able to clear and to see situations more clearly from a place of compassion and understanding. Doesn't mean you got to interact with them all the time. It doesn't mean we have to have them in our lives, but I see you having more understanding. And I do think a lot of the heaviness and the disappointment and disruption is behind you for the most part, right? There might be some trail energy influence carrying over into 2021. But I think for the most part, it feels more settled. Alrighty, you're welcome, Elena. And so Daphne says she's working on some manifestations. They're taking a while. Should I rest or continue? What does rest mean? It doesn't mean give up. I'm hearing don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, I feel like the clairaudience is coming in more so. It's like I wanted to tune in the dial a little bit more. So Daphne, your clairaudience is getting stronger. So clear hearing, psychic hearing. I'm hearing to not throw in the towel. Me that 2020's ground is not that fertile. It's a little harsh and it doesn't look that great, but surprisingly, if you let it sit, all this other stuff will get, all of the other debris will get cleared and then things will shoot up. You'll be able to see some of their growth. Okay. And Vanessa, you're welcome. You're most welcome, Vanessa. Deb Purdue. Hello, Deb. You're going to see her. She's going to see her sister in Virginia a week and a half, and does look like it'll be a safe, easy trip. I think you're going to have a great time. I think it's a welcome reunion. Two are going to do something. Like, I feel like you pick up where you left off. I keep hearing we're going to do this together. So do you, I have no other word, build something, craft something together. You're working on something together, or you'll start working on something together. You know what pops up in my mind is that, like, how a lot of people do the genealogy, right? The family tree. I don't know if that's something you're working on, but I see you working together with your sister, and like there's more work to do, and it's fun and exciting, and I see a lot of energy around that, meaning excitement, laughter, enjoying your time with your sister. So your answer is yes. 7 of Pentacles, all about the physical stuff. 8 of Pentacles, and then you have the Tower reversed. Boom, that's a great card for a trip, right? So I see you having a great time. All righty. You're welcome, Kathy. Hi, Nicole. Jennifer, I did answer your question. Okay, so Rosie Quick, I posted this before it started. What is the wrong time to post a question? I was just wondering if anything was coming up for me. Anything will help. Don't forget Mercury's retrograde. All this Mercury retrograde. It's a time of redo. Okay, Rosie, let's see what we've got for you. I'm going to quickly do this, and then I'll do 2 after Rosie. And I do see Taylor's comment. She says she says that she apologized. No need to apologize. No need to apologize, Ashley. Okay, so let's see, Rosie. Rosie, are you thinking about learning more about past lives and your soul's path? Because they're showing me learning some spiritual tools, gifts, interests, passions, delving into the non-physical side of things, learning about energy, karma, and it's like, I'm going to get it right this time. I don't even know if you've also made this promise. So many people make this promise of, I'm not coming back. I promised myself I'm not coming back to this earth. I'm not living another life here, right? And then I kind of go, oh, I'm hearing spirits say, yes, they will. It's just that right now. Anyway, so I don't know if you're wanting to really try to cram all your karma and all that, learn all about yourself. But I do see like your past, present, your past lives, who you were, what were your gifts, what am I here to complete? I want to know about my relationships here. And I see you really wanting to be more thorough with that. And I see a lot of fun with it. But to me, it feels like balancing out the karma, the energy to correct what you came here to correct. And it feels like I want to work with spiritual tools, knowledge, and wisdom. So you've got the 9 of Wands, the King of Wands, and then the Justice card. So the ones that stand out have to do with your spiritual self, your consciousness, and balancing out and learning why you're here, what you're here to create, and what you're here to do. Okay. And Rachel says, it's accurate. Is that new thing going to be better? Yes, the new thing's going to be better. Rachel. Alrighty, so Kat, I know that you had mentioned you posted earlier. She has been job searching all year. When will I land a new job? Okay. 1, 2. Okay, so they're showing me there's a really great possibility of you, all of your ducks in a row. I feel like, Kat, you're really busy doing other things and you're trying to tie up all the loose ends. And I don't know if you've been putting applications all over the place, even to jobs that you might not really enjoy. They're saying to try to not go to to disengage from some of your commitments and obligations, and maybe let some of those applications in your mind, just let them go, and just ask Spirit to continue to put you in alignment with the opportunity that's for your highest and best good. Is there a job that you applied for that you know somebody? Like, it's like I have a connection, and maybe they're the owner, maybe they're the manager. I see a job coming in, a potential job coming in within the next couple of months with someone that you have a connection with. And the last card is the Seven of Swords reversed. So in this downtime, in this in-between time, Kat, Spirit says that this is about you continuing to go within and be alone with your thoughts, and let yourself be. Be in the in-between space. If you've been able to sustain yourself without having to, I feel like you still are okay. I don't feel like you're not overwhelmed with debt, but you have this time. It's like, I should get a job. I should do this. And I feel like Spirit's like, take care of yourself in this moment. You may not get another moment like this for a while, right? So enjoy this time. Alrighty, so Kat, you got that. And thank you, T-Rob and Vanessa. I'm going to leave this up here. Okay, this video will be live here. And Jessica, I'm glad to hear he's working with someone good. And la, 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 la. Oh my gosh, I got so many people here. I'm so sorry. I'm going to look at the comments. And then Lisa. I know, Lisa, with being so busy, it's really difficult to unplug. She has a salt laugh and 3 assistants, but it seems like I am always the point person, many expectations of me. Okay, so if you can, Lisa, a half day, like 3 hours, I'm off the grid. That's what I do. Not that I have 3 assistants, but because I have a hard time with that. It's like, okay, you need help, just get in touch with me at any time, right? And often the emergencies are not really emergencies too. So what I might say is, hey, I'm leaving at 1 o'clock, going off the grid. It can wait. Unless the business is on fire or someone's pants are on fire or something, you should be good. I have complete trust and faith in you. I'm going off that grid. And that's going to really help you. And I do think that it will be challenging at first for you not to think about and check things, right? It's like put them away and lock them up and have a timer and stay away from all of your devices. But I'm so happy you're busy. The last question is for Luba, and all these questions that were left. All right, Luba, she's been working on a health matter. Can she get some insight? Let's see. They're showing me an organ that is kind of in the solar plexus sacral area that I feel has been under a lot of stress. Okay, so with that being said, they're showing me creating a little map and maybe have a picture of yourself and put the picture of yourself on an altar, maybe send some healing and put some crystals and do some distance rejuvenating healing to that crystal, to that area. That area, just that it feels so stressed to me right now. And if you're having other symptoms, I feel like it's connected with that organ, that function, that body function there. I feel like sodium is not helpful to you. I feel, bland diet. Look at me, I'm listening like, I like spicy stuff. I like flavor, but I'm hearing for you to cut back on some of the spices and the acidity, the acidic foods and drinks, like even coffee, cut back on that. I do see your health improving, but I feel like we're on like a 6 to 8 month journey. Okay. Alrighty, so Barb, about retirement. I don't know what happened to it. I'm so sorry. Oh, she said that, I'm sure she said that the cards for another person resonated for her, but she's sure your guides are always with you, and they sometimes do have a message for some that is being given to someone else and it resonates with you. So this is interesting what I hear for you, Barb. They're saying for you to start envisioning what your day would look like when you're retired. What would a normal day in the life of Barb, who's the retired Barb, what would that look like? And to start planting the seeds of how that would look. And I'm going to encourage you to plant them, but maybe even to go to this time next year, because you're going to be living that life, right? What's it going to look like? I'm going to wake up, I'm going to take my time, have my coffee or tea, pet the puppies, and so on and so forth. So that's what they're encouraging you to do. You have the Three of Swords, which is stress because there's a situation that's in the way of you being retired, obviously. Seven of Pentacles, and then the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So they're encouraging you to think about what would a day in the life of Barb look like, feel like when she's retired. We're going to fast forward you a year, and you're going to start creating that life with your focused intention. You're going to shoot that into the future. Kaylee, can you retype your question? Hi, Liz. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that chat. It's gone. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards for you, Liz, for the question that what spirit wants her to know. So, Kat, you said new job within a couple of months. Okay, Liz, what does spirit want you to know? It looks like some really interesting people are coming into your life. Like your tribe and your sphere of influence, your social peeps, your people is changing. And it feels kind of exciting. I'm not saying that all of the people that you've connected with before are going away, but it feels like some new, exciting, and interesting people are coming into your life. Feels like there's a lot of spontaneous influence with you. So one example is Chinese food. My husband would always order the same thing, pepper steak, or get pepper steak. And then all of a sudden he started changing it up, and he would get this and get that. I feel like that's starting to happen with you. And you're venturing out of your usual routine, not because it's boring, not because you're afraid of change. It just feels like there's just like this new life, this new flow that's coming in for you. And I do see your social circles changing, and the way you go about and do things, and how you process it feels like there's just a different perspective. And I'm going to use the analogy, I've used this before, where say you were here before viewing life from this consciousness. I'm bringing it up a couple of levels or rungs on the ladder to a more expanded consciousness. Queen of Swords reversed, 6 of Wands, and then the Hierophant. Just looks like there's a different processing and a different way of doing things. Okay. Alrighty. Blessings, Athena. Okay, and Jennifer B. The transition in your career is for your highest and best good. I'm hearing absolutely, because you were ready for a change. If a change is not, I'll flip my cards around. If a change is not for our highest and best good, that's not going to happen in that way. Even if it looks challenging in the midst of it, right? I see you second guessing that change, Jen. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm sorry, I've been talking all day. I had a bunch of sessions today too. You may not see the smooth transition that you were hoping for at this time. Like it's like there might be a little bit of a bumpy road, and sometimes when we make a change, sometimes we see a different side of people, and you may be experiencing that with others, like, oh, I didn't realize that this is how they operate or who they are. However, I do believe that this new change is burnt out and you're kind of done, and change is always good. To always do the same thing over and over after time, there's no change in our environment. The stimuli is the same. So how can we change and grow? We have to instigate change, or it's healthy to instigate change. The Magician reversed, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the Five of Cups reversed. Have you made that change yet? Because I feel like there's a little bit of hesitation with that. But I do think that the change is good. And I also think that where you're at, or where you were at, there was a lot of manipulation with people. Codependency, passive aggressiveness, and you are ready for a change and you deserve change. So yes, 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 and yes. So Kaylee asked if there are any messages from Spirit. Has to do with your connections to people in your relationships. I feel like there's a lot of change that's going on with the relationships, more than one, that are on your inner sphere of influence, like the people who are in your inner circle. There's a lot that's shifting and changing. Spirit's encouraging you not to make something a truth or an absolute at this time. Allow all to fall into place. Allow the shifting, the perspectives, the pieces to come in, the clarity, the understanding. This is not the time to make big life decisions, significant life decisions. Just take your time. And it just, Mercury's retrograde, that's the miscommunication time of Libra. Well, now we're moving into Scorpio, but Libra is about balance and relationships and communication. Then you got Mercury retrograde, where there can be miscommunication, misunderstanding, mishaps. And so I feel like there's a lot of confusion around you. It's because you're trying to figure it out. Sometimes we can't figure it out. It's not purposeful to figure it out yet because we don't have all the details. They're saying slow down, and you might even have to turn your mind off. You might even have to say switches off of the mind. I'm just turning my mind off right now. And because I just see you trying to figure everything out. There's nothing to figure out yet. Just observe, look, tune into yourself. What is your body telling you? Go within. Wheel of Fortune reversed, Ace of Wands reversed, and the Two of Cups reversed. Okay, so this is just a time of observation and allowing shifts and changes to take place. You'll have a lot more clarity than what you realize. I'm glad you're feeling better, Barbara. So Claudia, so interesting knowing about a move, perhaps a home purchase in the next year. You live in Germany, and my work is a definite influence on this. Will I get more work? I do think you'll get more work. This guy keeps popping up. Holy moly. So the answer is yes, you will get more work. I think you need to maybe it would help you, it would help you to get more clear with your intentions. Here's this guy again, Seven of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Page of Cups. When I say get more clear, where would you like to move in Germany? What type of work would you like to be in, to see yourself doing? What aspect, what field, what department, what category, what hours? What are you going to wear? All of those things. So the answer is yes. I do think that there is a home that will be purchased in the next year, within the next year. I feel like I'm going more towards the second half of the year. So after June. And I do think that you will be getting more work. But Spirit is encouraging you to continue to be an active participant in the manifestation and the projection with your thoughts of how it's going to look. Okay. All righty. Lindsay, you're welcome. Please do DM me on Facebook. And Kat, yes, I did answer your question, sweetie. And Jennifer asks, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, it's a lot. There's a lot there with education tests, all this. And I'm glad it makes sense, Ananda. And Raylan. Daphne, I didn't see a question. She says, thank you. Oh, yes, you did ask a question, didn't you? I think it's all a blur right now. Okay. Oh, Raylan. This is what they're showing me. From how you view life, this is interesting. I've talked about this before, the assemblage point. Analytical mind you is black and white. It's this or that. The facts. I need the facts. In your former life or world, maybe that's how you came to conclusions and how you operated. They're showing me now for you to bring things up to that assemblage point, which is the area just behind the neck, the head, and it goes up and it sees things from a more expanded spiritual perspective. That might even help you with your intuitive psychic abilities. How I got that? I'm not sure because I'm going to show you the cards, but I have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the Star card reversed, and the Ace of Swords reversed. So the card that stood out the most for me, for you, was that Ace of Swords reversed, with how you, with your analytical mind, of how it has assisted you and helped you throughout your life, with how you make decisions and go about things. They're showing me now we're moving to the assemblage point of how you view things and how you interpret information. It's a completely different view from there. Alrighty. You're welcome, Sandy. Okay, Kat says she hasn't applied to a job where she knows someone, and it's quite possible that you might apply somewhere where you know so you didn't know you knew somebody. And go, Billy Hunter. Looks like I will need a new job in the future. Any spiritual guidance for a direction to pursue? I think I would pursue the areas where you're more passionate, where you've got more passion for what you're doing and you get excited. I feel like it's the area that you haven't applied for before because you thought, oh, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could justify doing this. This might feel like I don't even know if that's even a job. Okay. Alrighty, and you're so welcome. Thank you, Barb. I did go a little bit over. You're welcome, bless you. And Jen says she didn't go there yet. Good, because I think it's time for you to start looking for the job change, the career change. And you're welcome, Claudia. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Luba. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you soon, and have a beautiful, blessed evening. Namaste.